Myon, Laura Camila Jimenez Martinez. My book is about the Chernobyl nuclear accident. Facts. On April 25 and 26, 1986, the worst nuclear accident in history occurred in present-day Notre Dame, Ukraine, when a reactor at a nuclear power plant exploded and burned. The incident, surrounded by secrets, was a watershed moment in both the Cold War and the history of nuclear power. A few months after Reactor 4 at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant burst into toxic flames in 1986, it was located in a sarcophagus made of concrete and steel to contain the radioactive material inside. This old structure, seen in this picture, was linked with an error contained in 2016 on April 25th. 1986, routine maintenance was scheduled for the fourth reactor at the Vladimir Ilyich Lenin nuclear power plant, and workers planned to use the downtime to test whether the reactor could cool down if the plant lost power. Beginning and the disaster took place near the city of Chernobyl in the former USSR, which invested heavily in nuclear power after World War II. Starting in 1977, Soviet scientists installed four RBMK nuclear reactor at the nuclear power plant, which is located south of the present-day Ukraine-Belarus border. Social. The world could realize that it was witnessing a historic event. Up to 30% of Chernobyl 119 metric tons of uranium were in the atmosphere, and the Soviet Union eventually evacuated 335,000 people and stability and 30 kilometers with exclusion zone around the reactor. 28 people from the accident and more than 100 were injured. The United Nations Scientific Committee for the Study of Effects of Atomic Radiation has reported that more than 60,000 children and adolescents developed thyroid cancer after being exposed to radiation from the incident. Although some experts have disputed this claim, international researchers have predicted that ultimately some 4,000 people exposed to high levels of radiation could succumb to radiation-linked cancer, and that some 5,000 people exposed to lower levels of radiation could suffer the same fate. Still, the full consequences of the accident, such as the impacts on mental health and subsequent generation, remain a subject of debate and study. The remains of the reactor are inside a massive steel contaminated structure developed in late 2016. Containment and monitoring efforts continue, and cleanup efforts are expected to continue through at late 2065. Politics. Disclose of the nuclear accident was considered a significant political risk, but by then it was too late. The collapse had already spread rioting to Sweden, where authorities and another nuclear power plant began to wonder what was happening in the USSR after the accident. At first, the Soviets ended up announcing it on April 28th. Today impact. The impact of the disaster on the surrounding forest and wildlife also remains an actually investigated topic in the immediate aftermath of the accident. An area of about 10 square kilometers was remembered the reed forest because many trees turned reddish brown and died after absorbing high levels of radiation. Today, the exclusion zone is eerily silent but full of life, although many trees have regrown in recent years since we have found evidence of elevated levels of characters and albinism and lower rates of beneficial bacteria among some species of animals in the area. However, due to the excluded of human activity around the contained nuclear power plant, the population of some species such as lynx and elk have increased in 2015. Sensitive estimate that there were 7 times more wolves in the exclusion zone than in comparable nearby rivers than thanks to the advances of humans.